let me take you to a time when anime was slowly making its transition from VHS to video disc. And like the decade before, the grittiness and sheer brutality of the genre had created the Attitude era of animated entertainment. Manga entertainment still hadn't changed its intro video, so it was a time of great joy and prosperity. Cyberpunk and transhumanism became all the rage, mecha and robots were taking over everything, and somehow in there, you could still find the time to animate a cringy idle anime series or two. Welcome to the decade where Michelle was still not born, and we all feel older for it. The 90s. So, let's get into it. Defendant. So, Xeno Space Cowboy. Technology was a huge part of 90s anime, from robots to cyborgs, to the crushing depression around technology coming from Serial Experiments Lane. Oof. Of all the technical advances of the 90s anime, which one would you like to see be a reality the most?
I know exactly what I want, right? Okay, so...
Oh, Jesus.
Tenshi Muyo, right? You know how Washu has that interdimensional door underneath the stairs that, like, you know, it's like, it's bigger on the inside, right? Well, literally, she has a two-dimensional door that you just walk through into, like, somewhere, you know, completely viable and shit. I want that, right? And then, like, all the housing products, like, because if you don't know, in the UK... we have no room to do anything. We can't even swing a cat around, and that should be illegal, by the way. But regardless, it'd be nice to have some space, because we got no space to do anything.
I believe we discussed that Tenchi Muyo was actually an 80s anime, sir.
Oh, fuck!
80s, sir!
Fine, okay, fine. I'll think of, I want a Gundam.
Solid.
So, Xeno Original Sin. While the original OVA series of Bubblegum Crisis was an 80s anime, the remake of Tokyo 2040 counts because that was in the 90s. Mm-hmm. In the anime, we have a team of women fighting against rogue boomers while society is either unaware or pretends that nothing is happening. So, how much commentary on American politics can be made here, and is it possible that we can find the original source boomer and destroy them in order to fix the issues the US is having?
Okay, boomer. So the way to clearly deal with this is we have to. Okay, are you guys aware that there is a parody comic of Donald Trump as One Punch Man?
Are you fucking shitting me?
I'm not shitting you, right?
Really?
Yes. There's a parody comic
sadness
of Donald Trump as One Punch Man. And
what is reality?
I can't remember what it's called, but I want to call it One Trump Man. And let's face it, Donald Trump is like the pinnacle boomer, right? No matter what decade he is in, no matter what TV show he has made an appearance in, he is that boomer, right? So I think we have found the source boomer in all of anime today.
Further and further we stray from God's light.
So, can we remove his power by removing his spray tan?
Sure, because then his power does not reflect his appearance in the comic, and as a result, he is no longer anime, and thus, Cory in the House has become the new de facto original anime.
Well, I got the message late on what we were talking about, and I swear we were supposed to be doing something to do with the last season, so I will be modern! So, Xeno, we have just, on another show, Kanpai-cast, watched the recent anime season, yes?
Uh-huh.
And you had some, I'm sure you had some favourites. Can you name a few, just you like, yeah?
There was, Chiki Chiki Ban Ban, there was Mute, there was Other Language,
Right, defended, just stop you there. So, My Ex-Family was a good, interesting show last season to do with a fictional post-World War II scenario with a small psychic girl called Anya. Yeah?
I think you'll find it's pronounced spy multiplied by family.
Ah, indeed. Indeed it is. Now, imagine that you were this fictional character, Anya, yeah?
Uh-huh.
Can you put your mind in that place, defendant?
Yeah.
Good. Now, if you were a small child with psychic powers, how would you deal with the giant spirit tortoise ruining the arc of your show?
I would use my telepathic powers to understand what how sad the tortoise is feeling, and then give it a stuffed penguin that may have Rishi in it. I'm not entirely sure. Depends on where I can get the stuffed penguin from. And give it a hug, you know.
I'm going to have your answer stricken for the record for the fact it did not contain the answer peanuts. Moving on.
Also, peanuts. There you go. Boomer.
Golin of House Xeno, with a huge selection of brutal anime, such as Ninja Scrolls, the original Berserk anime, or Genocyber. Which one most stands out in your mind as being the most gruesome or impactful? Which one still lives in your head rent-free?
That's quite clearly the Guyver. I mean, like...
80s anime! That's an 80s anime!
Son of a... Fuck!
I'm with you on this, buddy, but this is a 90s thing. Come on!
Tenchi Muyo is 92! Motherfucker!
Then why the fuck were you talking about it for hours in the 80s anime one?
Because clearly I was wrong! And you couldn't catch me out then, you can't catch me out now!
Terrible.
We're talking about the most gruesome, most graphically violent... I'm gonna say Dragon Half.
Okay, that's a fair one.
Never seen it.
Okay, so for your benefit, it's a very comedic show. It only got 2 episodes aired before the Japanese police came and arrested the entire studio because they had some kind of drug ring going on.
They were high as kites.
If you watch Dragon Half, you could tell. You could seriously tell. Like you have to be on something super special in order to actually come up with the plot of that show.
I would have thought that most 90s anime was fueled by some form of drug binge. If you're on.
So, thanks to Loz, I'll start this question. One of the highly praised shows from the most recent series was Police in a Pod. But back in the day, we had the show You're Under Arrest. In one of their episodes, the 2 protagonists were tasked with catching a pair of thieves on the train lines, but they're constantly interrupted by having to arrest perverts on the trains. So, how much commentary on American politics can be made here? And is it possible that we can find the real thieves amongst all the old perverts to fix the issues the US is having?
I mean, does America even have trains?
It does, but can confirm that they're shit.
Okay, so I mean, I would turn around and say that's America's biggest problem with their politics is the fact that they don't have nearly enough trains, and in fact, they need a Shinkansen. Oh dear God, do they need a fucking Shinkansen with the size that country is? And they should have transforming trains. You know, they need to turn into giant robots. Again, it will just help with the police initiative. You know, all of a sudden you think perverts are, you know, running amok on the train, and then all of a sudden it's a giant robot, and then, like, you know, perverts are caught. It's clearly a logical step in the evolution of American police force.
Speaking of creators that are high when making their shows.
I'm not high right now, I promise you.
Now, so, an easy question for you, Xeno. You know, this season we had one of the long-running shows that you're a big fan of, isn't it? Data Live.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it's a good show, yes? Good show?
Yeah, very good show.
And this season was very good, yes?
Yeah, massive cliffhanger at the end.
Oh, lovely. Always the best to maybe get you more seasons. So, what's the main character of this show called?
Shido.
And Shido's objective is to go on sort of dates to woo these magical creatures from other worlds to stop them nuking everything, yes?
Yes, very much so.
Right. Now, if you were Shido, how would you date a giant spirit tortoise that was sitting on your show and destroying the Ark?
Oh, man, I could tell where this theme was coming from a mile away. Well... I would have to woo the spirit tortoise. First off, I would have to take it to an aquarium.
I want details.
I'm giving you details!
I want them now!
I'm giving them now, shut up! Right? So, I would take the spirit tortoise to the aquarium just to prove to the spirit tortoise how much better it is than all the spirit turtles at the aquarium. and I would take it to a nice fancy restaurant, probably something to do with pizza, because I hear Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which are actually technically tortoises, love to have pizza, so I can assume that the spirit tortoise would at least like spirit pizza. I mean, that's not too much of a remove. And then I would using.
Would you introduce to a master that's also a mutated rat?
No, I mean I don't want to meet its dad straight away. I mean,
look, if you don't woo this tortoise, it's going to nuke everyone.
That's the point. I'm gonna woo it. I'm gonna woo the tortoise, and I'm gonna smooch it. It's gonna get a smooch, and then it's gonna turn into a lovely, beautiful girl. There you go.
At no point did you chop its head off. You failed. All right, moving on.
Getting the robot Xeno. The 90s brought us the release of Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Unfortunately.
So tell me, what the fuck just happened, and why is it still happening now in its 403 release of the series? Because I have no fucking clue.
I really hate the fact that I can't remember it's Arno, I know that.
The main character?
No. The director of Evangelion. He's like won awards and shit. He actually directed Shin Godzilla, right? And he's doing a Shin Kamen Rider rather, and Ultraman. Shin Ultraman. And I'm just like, I mean, the people that have given him awards for things like Evangelion and stuff, they have watched Evangelion, right? I mean, you asked me the question to explain what the hell happened. I think the idea was that effectively, the writer, Arno, I think Arno actually wrote it as well. He just tore out pages from the Bible and then cut out words, sort of like kind of like a serial killer. Stuck them on the script page.
I wish I could.
So just to clarify this, are you saying Neon Genesis Evangelion is a serial killer's ransom note that was used by pages of the Bible?
I'm not wrong.
Because I'm really... That's an arc that I did not expect from this conversation.
Yeah, that is what I do be say.
I have no idea how to follow that now. Wow. Right. In the show Magical Knights Wraith, one of the protagonists, Hikaru, manages to become what's called a Pillar of Sephiroth. It grants her immense magical powers. What's interesting is that she uses this godlike power immediately to get rid of her new status and rework the entire world system so the Pillars of Sephiroth don't exist, and that the future of the world can be shaped by its inhabitants. So, how much commentary on American politics can be made here? And is it possible that we will ever get somebody that can divest themselves of their immense power and wealth in order to rewrite the system to be shaped by the actual will of the people and not just the rich, old, white minority?
So, what actually happens after the character removes their status from the world and deconstructing the pillars? The world effectively falls into decay and ruin as chaos is allowed to seep into the very nature of the world, and many nasties come along. The world is taken over by a tyrannical dictator who he actually resurrects soldiers to form his own army, his own legion, and he bestows his own power upon them in order to take over the world. Humanity is basically brought to its knees, but there is prophecy of a what used to be a general of this army rising up against the tyrannical dictator and destabilizing his rule to bring peace and order to the world by turning into a sword.
Okay, so this is basically the logical extension of the Trump presidency.
Yes, very, very, very clearly.
So are you saying that we need more Elon Musks to prevent the rise of a second Hitler?
Yes, that is clearly what I am saying.
Weird.
Right, fine, defendant. So enough about giant tortoises. Clearly you've come up with many situations and ways to solve that problem. So
I think it was two.
That's enough. We don't need more. We don't need more turtles.
Okay.
We don't need more. And speaking on that line, so another show you mentioned this season is your boy Kong Ming.
Yep. Chicky,
Yep,
chicky,
I
bang,
do
man.
feel you Chicky Chicky Bang Bang. It's a shame that you can't dance for me, because that would be good. I'd get you to reenact that. So this is a very interesting show with a very strange premise where we work with Zhuge Liang, who was a tactician from the period of Chinese thing where it was the Romance of the Three Kingdoms. I can't remember which was he Wu or Wei? I always forget those ones. Which one was he? Was it Shu? I don't matter. He's a very famous tactician. Yes, you agree?
Agreed.
And he employs a lot of interesting stratagems to come to his solutions, yes? Now, if you were able to employ some amazing stratagems so that we never have to suffer another horrible thing like Sealed Teas in Season 2 again, what strategies would you employ?
Well, clearly, I would use the Stone Sentinel maze in order to prevent the anthropomorphized existence that is Shield Hero Season 2 from ever escaping, and just put like giant warning signs on the outside so no one dare enter the maze. Of course, you'll get kids who think they know better, some Zoomers. They'll just go like, you can't tell me what to do, but we won't see them again until they're boomers, and they'll come out going like, oh, I have made a terrible mistake. It's like, yep, told you not to.
Those signs won't stop me. I can't read.
I only watch things in dub. Yep, that's your folly.
Xeno, who angers the forest god. Princess Mononoke came out in 1997.
And I watched it.
I know, it's a great movie. And demonstrated that anime can still look as every bit as good as Akira from the decade preceding it.
Shut up.
What other anime from the 90s do you think really stands out in quality? And you're not allowed to use another Miyazaki movie. And since neither of us apparently can tell the passage of time, I'll allow a late 80s movie.
What is time?
Actually, this one I do know. The original Ghost in the Shell movie is just... it is phenomenal. It's crisp. It's clean. It's got weird eyes going on. Like, they kind of, like, spent a little too long drawing in atomically correct eyes on what would have been fine to be Barbie eyes. But, no, honestly, the original Ghost in the Shell, the level of detail that they put into it was just freaking phenomenal.
Can I, as a bonus thing, the scene where the guy comes out and his fingers expand into smaller fingers, so he can type like
that's
that.
literally what I'm
Did
thinking
you not want that as a cool thing?
I still want it now. I mean, just think about how much faster I could do my work, or organizing YouTube videos. So,
for a fourth question then from me, considered by many to be one of the peak shows of the 90s, coming as it did right in 1999, Cowboy Bebop follows the misadventures of the bounty hunters of the ship Bebop as they try to make their way through life, drifting between the colonies of the future. In this show, we witness another bounty hunter, one who has money, fame, and a horse, theme himself around a stereotypical cowboy and try to take a bounty right out from under the nose of Spike, a former professional hitman. So, how much commentary on American politics can be made here? And is it possible that we will ever see actual professionals win out over the whims of the moneyed rich pretenders who think they can buy their way into everything?
So we know how we were talking about Elon Musk being the savior of America. I think that's just been disproven. But also, like, are you trying to say that 90s anime has predicted the current state of American politics? 30 years later. Is that the running theme you're going with here, Thaylien?
Well, let's look at the evidence here.
Yes.
Huge move towards corporate bullshittery and corporations taking over the world. Big moves towards technology and how the reliance on technology causes depression, such as Serial Experiments Lane. Powerful people searching for immortality in Cyber City Oedo. Criminals being used as slave labor. I mean, it's
pretty accurate, to be fair.
Massive move towards the privatization of things that we would consider, basic public necessities. to make sure that the rich stay rich and the poor stay poor.
Yeah.
But really, if I was going to make that argument, I would have just started quoting Onion articles.
Oh dear God. So yes, very much. You know, what's it called, the way America rides up on horseback, just comes along, ruins the agendas of everyone else, like the plans, the you know, and it just what's it called, gets up all the other countries' backs. Like, you know, they're just like, you know, instead of actually doing their job of bringing down the bad countries, what's it called, every other country in the world is just looking to pick a fight with America, and it all comes crashing down as the world just falls apart after enough explosions, and you know, it's all because screw the rules, I've got money.
Fuck yeah.
Right, now, The Vendant. Another show this season was I'm Quitting Heroing. Are you aware of this fact?
I am.
Right, and in this show, humanity almost turns its back on one individual. This one individual was the hero that saved them, but now they see them as a menace that needs to be removed from society, yes?
Mm-hmm.
So what lessons can we learn from this, and then apply them to the creators of S.H.I.E.L.D. Hero Season 2?
Jesus.
Well, clearly, they should have stuck with what they know, even though it may cost them more money. Actually, to be fair, though, I'm not quite sure why the original director didn't come back to the show. It could be a simple case of he wasn't asked, or he asked for too much money. Maybe it's a bit too much of that, space cowboy influence coming from, having too much money. So, not entirely sure what's going on there. However, I think the answer is to give up on working on Rising of the Shield Hero and move on to join forces with the bad guys and go direct Sword Art Online. Basically nothing I care about.
I'm actually... Oh, good. Okay. I was actually speechless. Like, why would you ever say this?
I would never reflect that upon Sword Art Online.
I mean...
That series needs help, not further curses.
No, it can... No, it's bad. It's always been bad. No. I'm not prepared to go into a shop in Japan and say, at the top of my lung, I love Sword Art Online. So, you know...
No, you will not do that. However, I have noticed that you did buy the body pillows.
No. Nuh-uh. I got
Christmas Rhea Scrimmery body pillow.
I'd be fine for that. Rhea Scrimmery from High School Double D.
You have it on the record, my honor.
I would be fine with that. How could I not be fine with that?
You know, speaking of body pillows, this is an excellent time to mention that if you want to see the Xenogenium body pillow, you should probably sign up to the Patreon at patreon.com/Xenogelion, where you can get access to important messages and also the ability to vote on which kind of Xeno body pillow you would like to see.
Oh my god.
Well, the 90s called and they want their beautiful, sexy, and violent genre back, so I have to go home. Thank you for joining us on this magical journey back to a decade of violence, passion, and whatever the fuck Evangelion was. See you later, Space Cowboys.